You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Good morning, guys. It's Monday. It's just another fucking Monday.
Yeah, it should be illegal to be in such a good
It's
mood
after
on a
30
Monday
seconds. So it's after 30 seconds. I said it. So yeah, we got our cups from Fuel Up. Look at that, Fuel Up. And I have one suggestion. I haven't tried it yet. Fuel Up. Print a little tiny slip of paper with instructions on how to use the cup and slip it inside the cup. Absolutely would not have caused the problems that two of us had of not knowing how to use the damn cup. But I'm excited. I'm going to be trying this, man. Woo! Woo!
It's good shit.
This is if this works the way, well, apparently worked for Chris, because Chris, I don't know why he did this, but he decided that he was going to chug the 16 ounces before he started his day, and you know, and I think that drinking coffee fast. I drink coffee fast sometimes to get my day going. I'll do that with Mountain Dew. I'll chug some Mountain Dew. But you know, I'm going to tell you right now, this amazing Fuel Up has 180 milligrams of caffeine. This is our new sponsor. And so when Chris took his drink mix and chugged it, this is what he told me it was like. He sent that little animated gift to me. So I'm going to give this stuff a try. And so I've got my cup full of agua fria. That's for the Hispanic countries. Hey, you notice, Anima? I don't speak Spanish with an accent either.
Right.
Is it one scoop?
Yes, one scoop.
Yep, one scoop. I see it here, directions. So I'm dropping that one scoop in there. That's 180 milligrams caffeine.
Does it have a scoop?
Yes, it's inside the bag. It comes like this. And let me just, I'm going to go ahead and start shaking this up. Where to put the top? There it is. Let's see. Let's give this shit a try. All right. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, hey, Mom made it.
No.
What?
Good morning, everybody. I'll be saying my greetings. Ooh, that's a nice. That looks like a dreamsicle color.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
like that.
it tastes good, you know. So.
Oh my God, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to read what's on the back here. Fuel Up is a nutritional hydration system designed for everyone who participates in life. We believe that there.
I like that.
Yes, we believe that there are characteristics crucial for success in life: motivation, concentration, rejuvenation. Our daily 3-product fuel up system with Bi-Aloe, registered trademark, will help you stay hydrated, get the recommended daily intake of select essential nutrients, and support your immune system. Wake for energy and motivation, play for concentration and focus, and rest for rejuvenation and more restful sleep. It's got Bi-Aloe for immune system support. Bi-Aloe is the stabilized biologically active aloe vera inner leaf extract called Essaminan. That's a weird name. Bi-Aloe contains the most of this product in its most bioavailable form compared to any other aloe extracts, which means it's easier for your body to use to maintain optimal health and well-being. So that's what's on the back of the bag. This is the product, Fuel Wake Up. And I'm going to give it a try now. Here we go. This is my morning coffee for today. It looks really good. I really have to say, that looks yummy.
I'm glad it's orange.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
It's a little citrusy.
Yeah, it's like
citrusy, but no pulp or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a effervescence, right?
There is a slight effervescence to it, not like carbonated water,
right?
But it's
just really like a slight. Yeah, it's yeah.
Holy shit, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not chugging it. I swear to God, I'm not going to chug it.
I finished mine, and I'm back to my my hot
Fuel Up
tea.
This is our new. By the way, guys, this is our new sponsor, and
we tell you where to go and how to save. But we haven't got that yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten it yet because we had to try it first. They do not want us supporting a product, nor do we want to support a product that we haven't tried. And I told Bill, I said, if this is like energizes me, I won't have coffee in the morning. It'll be morning coffee with Gary, Fuel Up coffee. So
morning fuel up.
Exactly. So, and once again, this was Chris when he drank his.
We've already had 2 breaches.
Yeah, Monkey Jeebus is trying so hard. Give him a fucking
Monkey Jeebus has his try hard pants on. So let's say good morning to everybody. Jennifer Lawrence is new to the channel. They are not a member, but we hope you subscribe. We hope you become a regular Jennifer Lawrence, even if that's not your real name. I don't care. We'll call you whatever you want to be called. Monkey Jeebus, of course, was second in line. Gap After Dark is here. Good morning, Gap. Alex Moore is here. Keely Chow, Dragon Ruse, Joseph Dredd, Kingsport Cal is here. Hey, Cal. Marcos is here. What's up, buddy? Marcus. And I follow Marcus both on my personal Twitter account and on my on the Pop Culture Minefield, which, by the way, now is everybody should be part of that now. Danny, John, everybody should have login ability to post things under Pop Culture Minefield when you feel that they need to know. Also, let's see, Christian Delorme is here. Good morning. And our good friend D. Bud Martin is here. Did I see Penny's name in there? I didn't see her name mentioned.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, but I don't see her in the list.
Her name is not in the list.
Oh, Martin. Stop watching porn. Do your job. I got to tell you, I love you.
How dare you?
Oh, that little bitch. I swear to God, she's just nothing. It's like she brings nothing to the game. I love it when people give somebody a seat at the table that brings nothing to the table.
Are you talking to me?
No, you know who I'm talking about, the little girl you just used the voice of. And I won't say her name because I'm not going to waste my time talking about Stu. She has terrible parents. That's all I got to say. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see anybody else dropping in.
Scribe. That's just
Scribe. Morning, Scribe. Tom Brady was 32-3 versus Buffalo with the Patriots. Bostonians are pissed. Oh, yeah, I bet.
Whatever.
All we wanted, Patriots, was you to beat the Bills once. And you couldn't handle it.
God damn it, you channel Trump.
It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. I'm not chugging. I swear to God. That is really good. It's very tasty.
You only have one a day, though. Don't
have a sip of your tasty beverage.
That's not
Latin porn is great. No, I now Christian, I wasn't going to say anything. I was about to say something when he started playing the voice audio things. I got to tell you, Latin porn is pretty amazing. That's all I got to say. But you got to be careful when you start watching Brazilian porn. You're never sure what you're getting. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell anyone I said that. It's like a messed up world down here in Brazil.
Okay, while Gary's talking porn, I'll go refresh my beverage.
Yeah. So, Monkey Juice is Greta taking credit for doxing Andrew Tate. Nobody, the minute somebody takes credit for doxing somebody, they should immediately be charged. It's a crime. It should be considered a crime doxing another human being.
I don't have my bag on me, Mom. I'll have to defer to Gary or go get it.
Does Fuel Up have citric acid in the ingredients? Let me look. Let me take a look, see what's in the ingredients. It's the number one.
Is it really?
Yeah. When you go to, it says other ingredients.
Uh-huh.
The minute you get to other ingredients, the top thing it has, number one, citric acid.
And then my mom can't have
number
it.
5.
See, I can have it, but I can't have grapefruit for some fucking reason. Because one of the medications I take.
Well, grapefruit's disgusting anyway.
No, it's first of all, fuck off. I grew up on that shit as a kid. Even as a kid, my grandmother grew on one side of her yard was in Phoenix was grapefruit, and the other side of the road was tangelos. And we just had citrus all the time as kids. And those grapefruits she grew, they weren't bitter. There was the hint of bitterness, but it was mostly sweet. And then we would put sugar on top, and she would go in there and pre-scoop everything when she would serve them to us. She was a bitch. Don't get me wrong. My Arizona grandmother was a bitch, but she knew how to prepare grapefruit.
Well, I wrestled in high school, and for some reason they encouraged us to drink grapefruit juice, and I just hated it, and I always had to chug it. And
I bet it was probably bitter, not very sweet.
Yeah,
Penny, how do you avoid getting scurvy? Seriously,
dude, she breaks out. She's like, my whole life she's always been allergic to citric acid.
Can you get vitamin C without citric acid? I don't know. I've never looked into that. Even in the medical field, I never looked into that.
Gary, a bell pepper has more vitamin C than a lemon.
Oh, really?
Bigger, yeah.
Oh.
A lot of other fruits and vegetables are high in vitamin C.
I
Which
think
is why I
being
don't believe
mean
in
to a
taking
dragon
vitamin C as a
should be
supplement.
executed on the spot. But that's just me. Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. Okay, man, you are fucking loud right now, John. I'm just done. Hey, let me get some rapper and just start playing it rapping and just crinkling it right into the microphone.
Sorry.
Please don't.
I love great.
Sorry.
You're trying to get kicked. What is that?
It's the only She-Hulk pop I want. That's Wong coming through the portal.
Oh, that's the Wong figure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
the
no,
Wong
it's the right
one.
figure. No, it's the right one.
Poor Anima not understanding that joke.
And then I got a wireless controller for my Wii.
Your Wii?
Or not my Wii, my Switch.
I got it for me Wii.
Oh, so it's Danny's fault.
It's me, we gave.
Everything's my fault.
Drank
Hashtag
grapefruit
blame
juice the
Daddy.
whole time I was pregnant with Daniel. Gave birth, then became allergic to citric acid. What the fuck? That's crazy. But that's how allergies happen, man. You can enjoy something for years or just a short period of time, and then suddenly you become allergic. That's how they
Also-
killed me. I died twice as an infant because I got really sick and they were just pumping me full of penicillin. Man, the second time they gave me a big heavy dose, I went into cardiac arrest, and they thought, oh my God, they thought it was whatever was killing me. So they gave me a third dose of penicillin and killed me a second time. And they were like, oh wait, it's not the infection, it's the penicillin killing you. So like when they asked me, so what was the anaphylactic reaction you had? I said, death. Whenever they asked me, death. I died twice. I'm technically a zombie like Don.
Yeah, they're both zombies.
The unliving. Yep, double zombie Gary. Boom, baby. Boom, right there. So everything's Dork's fault. If Keith's not here, it's Dork's fault.
Pregnancy does crazy shit to the body.
When Keith is here, it's Keith's fault. Pregnancy does a lot of crazy shit. Makes women insane sometimes. I told you about my first ex-wife when she was giving birth to Benjamin, and she was in labor, and my sister Michelle comes in and starts doing that thing that Danny was doing this morning, faba, whatever that shit, some chants. And then she also was talking about the ocean. You're at the ocean. Like she thought she was like one of those white noise, a real
Why
living
was she
human
even
being.
there?
She's my fucking sister.
Yeah, but I mean,
My family. Look,
I wouldn't.
As
want my
annoying as they
sister-in-law
are,
alone giving birth.
as annoying as my family can be, when shit like that's going on, everybody is there. All my siblings were there.
Oh wow!
For the birth of my child. You know, both my kids.
Not in the room. I mean.
Well, they were not in the delivery room. They were in the room pre-delivery.
Ah, okay.
And then
That's
once, she got to the right 10 centimeters, when she got the 10 centimeter dilation, they moved her into the delivery room, which was more like a surgical room. And it's very clinical. And I actually like the birthing rooms, which is where Zoe was born. Zoe was born in a birthing room. And it's treated more like it looks like a hotel room, a nice hotel room with medical supplies in there. Backdoor zombie Gary. Yeah, we know that you guys broke the backdoor, breached it. So I'm going to go ahead and play some videos here real quick, get it over with, and start the show. So, boom.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door? Yeah.
Open your back door, baby.
Strong. I'm gonna go check the back door.
Front door team and back door team.
Pam, why do you have underpants with a Swiss flag on them?
Swiss? Those aren't Swiss. Those are, they're from the Red Cross. They're defective. Anyway, me safe house, A2 safe house. I'm gonna check the back door.
There you go. So that's to cover all of them this morning. All right, so we're going to get into this now. We're going to start talking about Terminalist episodes 2 and 3. I know that Anima has trouble watching it, so she's only going to watch that show with me because I help her understand.
More enjoyable.
It's more enjoyable, but on top of that, she better understands what's going on with this show, especially with the military stuff. So
yeah,
she is no longer allowed to watch military stuff without me.
I don't want to.
So, because military stuff, is always really serious, heavy, and there's never any kind of messed up humor with military stuff ever.
Here's your free cup of coffee from a lady in Rhode Island. What?
Because soldiers have no sense of humor.
No, not at all. Especially this one doesn't.
Yeah, I have no sense of humor. We were having a meeting the other day with KGRA, the heads of KGRA, our director of projects, the station manager, and I pointed out that I can be pretty snippy and cranky. And John goes, he just starts nodding. And I told him it's true. I said, part of the reason is I'm doing everything. I said, the less I have to do, the happier Gary is. I like to have a life outside of just preparing the show, doing the shows and stuff. I would like to just be like Johnny Carson. He just shows up, reads his monologue, goes out, performs the monologue, sits down, does his free verse stream of conscious interviews, and then goes the fuck home. Doesn't watch his show, watches something else with whatever woman he was married to at the time. Because that was a marrying dude. He married a lot of women. More than me.
Johnny Carson changed wives like people change underwear.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And as I've always said that women are like a box of chocolates. What you look for are the ones that don't have their heads caved in. John got it. Only kids that grew up getting those, what were they, Werthers or the box of chocolates? And as a kid, all of us would push in the chops. Yeah, Whitman's. And we'd push the tops in to see what was the inside because we wanted either chocolate or caramel. We didn't want those jellies. Those are gross. Those are for old people, which means why I like them now.
I had to avoid the coconuts because I had a childhood allergy to coconut.
A lot of people do. I'm finding a lot of people with coconut allergies, and but boy, I eat the shit out of those things. Mounds and Almond Joy were two of my favorite candies as a kid. I loved them. So Gary's kind of stressed out.
Someone is having background noise.
Water is the second ingredient behind citric acid and fuel up. Just heads up there, John.
The fuck?
It's Martin.
Yeah.
Okay. If characters are only doing something because the script says so and they aren't believable people, it takes me out of the story and I'll make fun of it for having unrealistic. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I love that when Thomas was on here, Tom Seymour, a friend of Keith's of mine, and he works on Dangerous Minds, the TV series.
Criminal Minds.
I'm sorry. And he worked on the movie Spartan with Val Kilmer. I muted him. Hitting that bong right in the microphone. Seriously. Jesus Christ, dude.
Danger zone!
Mute your mic, Danny, not your camera.
No, you can mute the camera too. That's fine.
So anyway, so Thomas said right here on our show, and I really do need to create a short of that video. It's just finding time for that and the billion other things I'm doing. So he says Val was sitting there giving David Mamet, probably one of the greatest screenwriters in the history of Hollywood. David Mamet, he also great playwright. He's the director of the film Spartan with Val Kilmer and the writer of the film. And he turns to him and he's complaining about some dialogue that he has to say. And he's telling David Mamet, one of the greatest writers, that the dialogue is kind of stilted and he doesn't like it. He feels the character should be saying it a different way. And after he finished talking, David Mamet turns to him and says, say the lines as written, Val, or I'll call Emilio Estevez and replace you with him. And he did the scene. Shut the fuck up. Fucking David Mamet told him that. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, puff, puff, pass, dude. So, because I was worried you weren't going to be here, I was going to show video, bump through the show. But now that you're here, we can do it. And do you want me to do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, share screen. Don't have to share audio because we're not going to play audio. And let's see, put us down underneath and see how that works. That works better. So episode 2 opens because episode 1 ends with him coming home and finding his wife and daughter murdered.
Yeah.
And again, did he do it? And that is the question posed in this episode. Technically, in the next 2 episodes. Is he doing this stuff? Is something wrong with him? Is his PTSD creating a schism in his mind?
Well, he reaches that point at the end of this episode where he starts questioning himself. Did I do that?
Did I do that? Because he's already retracted what he said about what happened with his team.
Did I do that?
And so he's very curious, as to what's wrong with him too. So we're on this journey for the first 3 episodes. Basically, and in the 3rd episode, we hit a point where you have to decide. Yes, Kingsport Cow, Glenn Ross, David Mamet, amazing writer. Yes, he is. He's the OG. So you have to decide by episode 3 if you believe him or not, because in episode 3 you find out what's happening, and it's better. I'm one of those people that likes to be right when I'm guessing. I hate it when I'm wrong, and we're both right. I was guessing what was going on when I watched it the first time, and I was like, I believe that there's something going on here, and I think that it's this thing. And I'm not going to tell you yet because you'll find out when we get there. But what I will tell you about this show is this is not for the lighthearted. This show has a lot of heavy subject matter in it, from PTSD, TBIs, to more deadly and dangerous diagnoses. It deals with the military and something I told Anima about that I'm not allowed to speak about publicly, which is because I could get in trouble, get in trouble for some of the stuff that happened to us in the military, which is, I will say this. I was never told that I couldn't, there was no gag order in the military for saying that the flu shots were tested on us. I was in that first group that took the flu shots back when it first started. And that's what they do in the military. They do a lot of human testing, because what people don't understand, and when police officers tell us we're just like the military, I remind them, no, you're not. Because when you're in the military, you are property of the Department of Defense. You're basically a conscripted slave. You have signed your life away. They pretty much own you for whatever duration your contract is for, whatever your ETS is. Whatever your ETS is, that's how long they have a right to you. That's why if you do damage, if you injure yourself off duty, you get Article 15 because you damaged military property. And that's how it works. You are in trouble for damaging military property. Oh, porn. Porn bot. Yeah, the sex bots are here.
What are you talking about? The goddamn robot's gone!
Yay. Porn bot's gone. Yay.
That's the next one.
Oh, there's another one. Yay.
You know what's cool? Apparently, I blocked him because I just got a thing that I didn't see it, the bot, but then I got a thing that says Pop Culture Minefield just hit a user you've blocked. So,
Yay.
That's good to know it works.
So, in the military, they tested the first flu injections on the military.
What's an Article 15 for those of us who weren't in the military, you know?
It is what you get before you get court-martialed.
Okay.
And there are different kinds. There's platoon grade, company grade, and once it hits company, you're in trouble. And
Thank you.
Platoon grade, it won't follow you. It's just with your platoon. You got in trouble with in basic, your drill sergeant. You got in trouble with your sergeant, your senior NCOs. Well, the other one I always point out, like when you're in a vehicle, and Anima likes this one a lot. When you're in a vehicle, you are either a co-driver or you're cargo. There's no such thing as a passenger in the military. You are, if you're in the back of a plane, you're either part of the flight crew or you're cargo. And if you're being transported, you're cargo. In vehicles like trucks, Humvees, it's driver driver assistant number 1, driver assistant number 2, driver assistant number 3. It's because if you have a ticket, let's say you get a ticket on post, every single soldier in that vehicle gets a ticket. Y'all got it. You get it together. All your names are included. My dad was a guinea pig the whole time he served. Didn't see any. Look, we know this all the way back to the atomic tests. That handful of guys right there in the immediate blast zone that survived.
Don is here.
I got an article 15 for punching out an MP. Oh my! Now that's probably company grade right there. Once you start getting into that, you're going to get. You're probably going to get court-martialed. It's hard to get out of a court-martial once it moves forward. UCMJ is really tough on soldiers. Don punched Joe. That's right. Joe was an MP. Yeah. No, I'm going to tell you, look, I love Joe. Joe knows this, though. I've told him, I said, we called you guys military pricks because we couldn't fucking stand you. But you know who's worse than MPs? CID. SIDS
What's
are
that?
the Criminal Investigation Division. Oh my God, Don. Did you get yours, Don? Don, did you get yours? Don? It almost reminds me of Tang. I gotta be honest.
That's so funny. That's exactly what I said to Cece. Is that and then I made this terrible joke. I said, you know why Tang is better than OJ?
Because it didn't kill his wife or that waiter.
Because Tang won't kill you.
Yeah, Tang won't kill you. But basically going back to it, it's like in the military, you're property. You're property of the Department of Defense and whatever branch you're in. And you do have certain rights, but the UCMJ really does make it clear you're going to have a tough time if we take you to court doing anything. And that's why they finally started, letting civilian lawyers defend soldiers, because they're better equipped at fighting the UCMJ than military lawyers. Put milk in it? I bet you that would actually be good, but I don't think they want you to do that. Because I did that as a kid. I don't know about you guys. I used to put Kool-Aid and Tang in milk because I loved the way it flavored the milk. Oh, are you okay? So you got yours. Excellent. So we're all going to have a good opinion, except for Keith. Poor Keith. Because I need to tell Bill. I got to tell Bill. They only sent me one. They were supposed to send me two. One for Keith. And I only got one.
Why don't they send it to Keith?
It's because it's just an address issue that they were having, and I didn't have Keith's address. I said, just send me his, because he comes over here all the time.
Yeah, I know.
And eventually we're going to start doing the shows together here in the studio, but or in the studio together.
When it warms up.
Good morning, Bill. So let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, good. All right, good. Got everybody. So once again, this episode begins after the events of episode 1, but we skip. We don't have to go through all the shit. We go straight to the end of the funeral, and we see him after the funeral. And he's in the car, and he starts having a flashback. And you're going to see this throughout the series, the imagery of him, his daughter, and his wife, and this bird that flies into a window. And I understood almost immediately that he's the bird, that he identifies with this bird that hits this window and dies. And he begins by lying to his daughter when she says, is it going to be okay? And he goes, yeah, it'll be fine. But later when you see the vision again, this time the wife speaks up and says, you don't have to lie to her. And I think it's important that these things are happening. It's all part of the driving force of this character. I am not a big fan of the vengeance thing. I'm not. That's why in Vindicated, when his spouse dies, she dies pregnant with his baby because of his phone call. It was his phone call that comes in when she reaches for the phone, has her accident, and gets killed. So I wanted a character that harbors guilt more than a thirst for revenge. But I got to tell you, I like the way they handle it in this show because, he begins to think that there's a conspiracy going on. And again, like I said, is it happening? Or is this in his head? Part of it in his head? Is there something going on? We don't know. And very simply put, there is the chance that there is something like that involved, LSD, because there's something going on with his brain. And clearly something's going on because he's having stabbing headaches. When stress increases, he gets these stabbing headaches and everything. And they put us into it. They put us into it visually by making everything kind of blur and shake a little bit when he's going into this mode. So it's a very interesting. Oh, Che is here. What's up, Che? Che knows what I'm talking about. Soldiers are property of the Department of Defense. They test shit on us all the time. Like I said, my group, when we went in, we were the first guinea pigs for the flu shots before civilians got them. I got mine, and arm hurt for 2 days. And that was all I got. No symptoms, just the sore arm. Anyone see Guy Ritchie's Operation Fortune yet? No, I have not. If I do,
lost me at Guy Ritchie.
I like Guy Ritchie. It just depends on what he's doing. Goddamn, I was about to read that. Goddamn women drivers. Look, I'm going to tell you something else, and I don't want to be negative about this because I love the Chinese culture. I love the Chinese people. They're wonderful people, but they are the most horrifying drivers. They can scare the shit out of me because I said this to my Chinese roommate. I said, how can a culture create one of the most masterful forms of using the body, studying the body the way you do, and lack the ability to pay attention to where you're going? Because when he would drive, I told him after a while, you're not allowed to drive anymore. You scare the shit out of me. Because he was constantly turning to talk to me when he was driving. Like, stop that. Keep looking forward and talk. Stop turning to talk to me. You're scared of shit. That plus he's always looking at everything else except for the road. He's always looking at buildings and stuff. I'm like, stop it. And I've been in 3 automobile accidents where I was hit by other people. And guess what? The culture of each one of the drivers was. Yeah. And all 3, my favorite one was where this guy kept arguing, the light was green. And the cop said it right after I did. I mumbled. I said, you can't just drive through people. And he says, whether it's green or not, the cop said this, you can't just drive through people. And I went, oh, I did the nose, and then of course, thank God there were 2 pedestrians that almost got killed. They had just gotten past the front end of my car, my Honda Accord. And right when they did, he plowed into me and drove me into the intersection. I would have hit him full force. And thank goodness they weren't hurt, but they were my witnesses. Said, yeah, we had a green walk cross. There was no green light. No, I like, there are parts of Kung Fu that I think are amazing, especially long arm Kung Fu. There's some great strikes in that. I also like the division in Kung Fu, Bo, as it's called, where it divides the body, upper arm for upper body, legs for lower body. You shouldn't, Taekwondo is a bad martial art because it has you throwing off your center of gravity by raising your leg up high. All kicks should be lower body. All strikes should be upper body. But anyway, Che is here, and I didn't see. Did he say anything about being property of the military? Respond to that?
No.
Yes, I put Tang in my mood juice. Fuck you. I sure did. And by the way, if you remember in the military, we had a thing called bug juice. Remember that shit? Fuck yeah. Bug juice. It's green as a day is long. Had a ton of sugar in it. But yet that's a Chinese movie. Yeah. So Yeah, I watched it too, Bill. We're going to go into it. Anima and I are going to watch it together. I'm going to watch it again with her. Show fell apart in episode 5. Completely fell apart and became stupid. I really fucking hated it because it was really good 1 through 4, and then 5 happened, and it was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
You're gonna do that?
He showed me the scene where it's falling apart, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
oh
like,
my God,
are you
no.
fucking kidding me? The minute that fucking door opened to that lifeboat, the story fell apart.
Yeah.
I don't ask Don. Don,
Maybe he's not watching the show.
He's probably got other shit to do. I don't know. I'd love to have him on when we do these Military Mondays. By the way, Monkey Jeebus, your videos of our friend as Megan, not cool, man. Not cool. It's just yeah, don't make her creepy. Gary, I am still annoyed that I never got issued my G.I. Joe tattoo. Hey, let me tell you something. My son Benjamin sent me a care package when I was in the Army. And it was one of my favorite care packages I ever got. And he sent me a G.I. Joe wristwatch. And I wore that the rest of the time I was in the military. And all the guys envied me that I got that G.I. Joe wristwatch. Because I'd open it up and it had the Yo-Jo, and it was fucking awesome. I love that G.I. Joe watch. So I got that. But I never got a G.I. Joe tattoo. I wouldn't want one. Because I hate to tell you this, Che. We were in the real military. You and I were in the real Army. I'd like to get him on. I wish you weren't so shy. I'd like to get you on the show sometime. I bet you're a lot of fun to hang out with. So, again, tested on us. So, part of the premise of this show is the potential of that. And we'll get to it. So, now he's coming from the funeral. And he begins to have that vision. And then we see him remembering the fight in the MRI room, and fight for his life because two guys are trying to kill him. And then we see him talking. This is all a montage. This is over music. There's no dialogue in this. We see him talking to both law enforcement, and this guy here is one of his commanding officers with his unit.
That's his. That's the JAG officer.
JAG. That's right, JAG officer assigned to the case. That's right. And anybody who watched Banshee should know this guy. He was the psycho driver for the gangster, the Amish gangster. And he was really good in that fucking show. I loved his death. He earned his fucking death in that show. If you ever watched Banshee, great fucking show. John, you're not responding. Did you watch it? No? All right.
No.
So we're moving on, and things seem really stressful for him, but he just is in a I don't give a fucking shit mode because he just lost the two most important people in his life, his wife and his daughter. And they were murdered.
Yeah.
So he's just going to go through this thing, putting them in the ground, not to mention still more of his dealing with the shit with his team. And then we cut to post-funeral. Yeah, that's a good shot of him right there. Look at that. Yeah, Chris Pratt can't fucking act. Look at that fucking face.
He's killing it in that show. He's so good.
He is so fucking good in this show. He wears
whole scene,
everything.
He goes from devastated to angry, and you see the entire transition on his face.
Yeah. This guy is Don is trying to join us right now, but it says device not. There we go. Now he's here. There's Don.
Hey, Don.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Well, Gary, I got to tell you, I am in the middle. I'm starting to write a paper. and it's tentatively titled "We Are So Fucked." Okay,
right.
And it's UFO stuff, but it's going to be, I think, a revelation. Anyway, that's what I was doing.
Will
I
we
knew
make that our
you guys-
Wednesday show?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I would love to
No,
make the thumbnail says, "That's it, we're fucked."
No,
There's
here's the
thumbnail.
deal.
Hey, Don.
Hey, what's happening? Here's the deal. There is a guy out there, a friend of mine, who was in the middle, and I do mean the absolute stinking middle of MI, military intelligence, DIA, and actually CIA, okay, machinations involving UFOs. And this is serious shit. He wrote a series of books. His name is Gary S. Beckham, Bekkum. The books that he wrote were basically originally taken from his original website. This guy, when I tell you he was in the middle of shit, believe me, he was. And I'm trying to get back in touch with him, but I've got all his books. I mentioned this to Gary before, and I think it went over his head. Okay, this fella, Beckham. But I did a number of interviews with him.
And you're talking about
DMR.
the other Gary, not me, right?
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh.
No, it went over your head. I mentioned the guy.
Okay.
Started to tell you about it. You were wrapped up in something else, so you shine me on.
If I'm distracted, I'm sorry.
You shine me on, you know.
I never intentionally do it. It's like, but
I know. I'm just.
I was
with you.
complaining to Bill about this. I said I really need somebody to help me with things because I can't keep working at the pace I'm going. Because as John nodded during the meeting, Don, you weren't there. I said I can get pretty snippy and cranky, and John goes,
well, you ain't seen snippy and cranky until you.
No, I know you. You are just born that way. You're a cranky fucker.
But anyway, no. This is. He wrote a series of books. The first one that came out was called "Spies, Lies, and Polygraph Tape." Okay. And the names in there, you may or may not know, depending upon how deep you got into this rabbit hole. But people like Hal Puthoff, Richard Doty, Ron, what? Pandolfi, yeah. My wife's over here.
Hi,
keeping me
Vicky.
on the straight, and he says, "Hi, Vicky." But anyway, that's what I'm doing when you said, "Oh, he's doing other stuff." Well, yeah, actually I am. But I wanted to drop by because you said you were going to be talking military shit, and so far I've heard about everything else almost except the military shit.
No, I talked about a lot about military shit. What it's like being owned by the military, conscripted slavery. Well, you know, because people are unaware of what's done to us in the military. You know, they don't understand. That's why I get irritated with cops when they go, "We're just like the military." I'm like, no, you're not. You can quit. You have a fucking union. We don't have that in the military. Once we sign our life away, we are their property to do with as they please. And they tested shit on us.
When I was headed to Southeast Asia, I was a freaking pin.
You were in Vietnam?
Yeah. I was a freaking pincushion. They hit us with so many damn injection shots. Some of them were needles. Some of them were those damned air guns. And I don't care what they say. Those air guns hurt.
Yeah, they do. I've always been amazed at how much human testing is done through the military for a lot of these pharmaceutical companies. And it's like, you know,
kind of like the COVID shit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's not go there, okay?
Yeah, well, we'll skip it, but it is what they did. The flu test, the first flu shots were given to us. It was my group. We were the first ones to take the flu shots. And like I said, I just had a sore arm. But some of the guys got symptoms. You know, they got the headaches, a little feverish for a day, achy, all over.
Well, you know, for the last 15 years, I've gotten all my flu shots at the VA. Okay. And I still get a little nervous when they ask me, well, did you have your flu shot? No. Do you want it? And then I got to think about it. Maybe. What's in it?
Well, there's a little nutmeg.
There's flu
it's like
in your
eggnog.
flu shot.
It's okay. It's good. It's yummy. What, John?
I said there's flu in your flu shot.
There's flu.
Yeah.
Are you telling me I'm getting some influenza, that Spanish bastard? But it's true.
You know, people don't realize that Spanish flu from a century ago, how deadly that was. How deadly it was. Millions died of that. You very seldom hear about that, but guess where it came from?
China.
No. Oh, no. Not the Spanish flu. That came from America. It was traced back to a military base at the beginning or sometime during World War I. That's where it was tracked. The zero patient was from a U.S. military base.
That's interesting.
And it went worldwide.
Because I know that, like, when my grandfather came back, they weren't allowed off the ships when they got back from World War I because of the Spanish flu. And he said a lot of the crew died. He says there was a good percentage of them, close to 15% of the crew died on the ships.
Yeah. You know where I think it came from, Gary? Originally?
Is this going to be from my butt? I don't know.
No,
Where's it go? I didn't know where you're going to go with that.
I'm serious. I think it came from a meteorite.
Look, we know that shit like this does happen. That new viruses don't always just come from the jungle. Sometimes they come from outer space. And I don't doubt that for a second. I don't doubt it for a second that might be where it came from. Because if you remember the red rain that happened about, what was it, between 2010 and 2014?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that red rain came right after a meteor strike. And they still, to this day, don't know what the fuck that was. That red rain and what it could have done or what it did. We don't know what it did to people because it was in drinking water. It was in everything. Scary shit, man. Shit that happens in Indonesia, parts of Africa. The Near East. Scary shit, man. Yeah, Andromeda strain. Exactly. So, but I know Anima wants us to get back on track. She is correct for doing so. We're going to be hitting the middle of the show here in a second. So let's get back to this little show called Terminal List that we love. I love it. I don't know if Anima loves it, but I fucking love this show, and I love Chris Pratt for doing this. He is the executive producer on this show, by the way. And that's why James Gunn's brother is in it, because they're friends in real life. And so Sean Gunn is in the show. And he has one of my favorite scenes in the series. Because I'm going to tell you something. This character you're looking at right here, he wants payback for whatever he believes happened. He wants payback. There you go. From Uranus.
Guys, I need you to stop derailing Gary.
No. All right. So we move on to the next part here, which is
it's not me.
Look at the intensity in this guy's eyes. The Chris Pratt can fucking act. Fuck people who say he can't act. Then we meet this gentleman who is a friend of his. I don't know if he's former military or what he is. I still
he seems to be a priest.
I don't think he's a priest because he's not in uniform.
Well, he's very religious.
He's very religious, but you get a lot of that in Latin America.
He's a friend
devoutly.
of Chris Pratt's character's father.
That's it. Okay. He knew his dad. That's right. I remember part of the conversation. He knew his dad. So, and his dad, of course, was in the teams too. Yep. So they're talking, and this gentleman is like, look, man, you got to get away. You need to take your mind off of this. And so come be with friends. And so that's what we lead to next. And, talking about how he never pictured having to deal with some of the stuff that like his dad did, that he had to deal with his dad. And so we get to meet some of his close friends. And they're sitting around a fire on I think it's a beach. It looks like a beach.
Yeah, she's we know Ben.
Yeah, Ben is his best friend. He was former team member and is in the CIA. I can't remember what she does.
She was the pilot that him and Ben saved. That they almost had a Black Hawk down. They didn't want them to go, but they went anyway to go rescue her.
Yep. And Ben is the I got your back buddy. He is absolutely
Ben is the one he
there.
goes to all the time.
He goes to him for help, and he's the one that's going to assist him on the intelligence and on pulling off some of the stuff that he wants to do to find out who killed his family.
He's the only one he trusts at this point.
He is his battle boo. That's right.
The only one he trusts at this point, because Katie has yet to get there.
Yep. And so we get to see all of them sitting around a fire talking, and Ben's telling stories, and she's wanting to shut him up, but he goes into the story anyway about how one of his favorite memories of Chris Pratt's wife was when they got absolutely shit-faced one night, and the best he could do was pass out on their sofa. And he woke up to her with the baby in her arms, trying to figure out why their living room smelled like a urinal. And Chris Pratt's like, that's because you pissed yourself in your sleep. And so it's a fun scene, and it has just enough of the grab-assery to, because something about military guys, we're all grab-astic. It's not just military, law enforcement does it too, especially military law enforcement. People who are in the military became cops. Grab-astic humor is very common with military people. Same thing. I found the same thing when I was in emergency rescue and fire. And the girl, yeah, I have no doubt she looks like a badass. And I knew quite a few females in the military that were fucking badasses. Speaking of the military, I watched a vid about robots, Boston Dynamics, boy, they're Atlas robot. Chappy. Kind of like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's true, Bill. So it's a great scene. It's a bonding scene, and it's a scene that's supposed to help him feel a little better. But look at that face, man. He's got to go. You got to go through it. There's no way to get to the next point without going through it. And that's the thing I've always told people when I've had to deal with tragedy. It's like every single one of us has to go through it. And when you do, you have to go through it. There's no getting around it. I found out that my dad was full of shit. I drank my way through one of them because he said that's how he got. And I'm like, that's not getting you through it. It's not. You still got to go through it later. You're going to eventually have to go through it. And he's going through it. And he's absolutely grabbing hold of it and going. And you can tell he really loves these people. But he is not in this moment, and he just wants to go home. And
he's trying, but
they don't want him to go home because the minute he goes home, they know what he's going to have to deal with because the cleaning people haven't come there yet. It's still an active criminal investigation.
Should they come right after the boys are taken? I mean,
no, because criminal investigations, whether it's and apparently NCIS is throwing its weight into this, you find out.
We are at the top of the hour, by the way.
Yes, we are. Is Martin even here? I don't think he's here.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
There we go. So he finally says, I'm going to go home. So he has his driver take him. His dad's friend has him driven home. Goes home, and of course, what does he got to deal with? He's got to deal with this: the blood on the floor. Here, I'll drop it down so you can see what's going on in his shot. That's the blood from his wife and daughter still on the kitchen floor. And he's just sitting there looking at it, processing this. And he's now sitting on the bed looking at the drawing she was doing before she got killed. You know, the family portrait that she was drawing his daughter. And then he's having the flashback of...
She was drawing that the day before he left.
And still before. I said before. You got to listen to the words I'm using. It's not... No. I didn't say right before. I said before.
It's the drawing we see her do in his vision.
It's right here. I'm trying to go into... You're derailing now.
I'm not.
Trying to correct my grammar.
You fucking accuse me of derailing.
You're derailing me, baby. So she's sitting here drawing that drawing, and he's having the flashback of it. And it's the moment when that bird hits the window again, and he's sitting there singing some song or playing a song, and then threatens to sing if she doesn't finish the drawing. And the wife comes in, and it's this one bonding moment of the family. This is, you know, not only is this telling us a bit of the story, giving us some information, it's also showing throughout the story the bond, the close bond that he had with his family. And then the bird hits the window. You can, it smacked it pretty hard. It's dead. I've seen that happen. It's sucks because they can't see glass. And this is the flashback where he says, "Yeah, it's going to be fine, I'm sure." And then the wife
made a dent in the glass. That thing is dead.
Yeah, and the wife says it right here. She goes, "You don't have to lie to her." And then we're mixing mediums here again, because are we in the flashback now, or is he standing there? It's really confusing because they're trying to show us what's going on with his brain right now and letting us know why he's an unreliable narrator. And and so he's there sitting on that bed, and I thought there was a moment there where, okay, I guess it's after this. This is when NCIS shows up while he's in his house grieving. And you can tell, just look at that guy. He's a fucking prick.
Part of it, yeah.
He's got that look down. They cast this really well. This guy is a fucking prick. And
that guy plays a prick in everything he does.
Because he looks like a prick. He absolutely has the look of a prick. That haircut, that is a prick haircut. And he's explaining how in the previous fight that this is where my gun was. It was in his personal locker, biometric locker, safe right next to the bed in the bedroom.
No, he tells him right away, so your gun was in the gun locker in the garage or wherever. He's like,
I was getting to that, honey. I was getting to that where the NCIS guy keeps trying to shift it that it was in the gun locker. And he goes, "No, I've told you. It's in the biometric locker. It's where I put it." So look at that face. Fucking prick.
They just keep twisting the things that he said.
It's making him doubt. It's all designed to make him doubt. But are they doing it on purpose, or are they doing it because we should doubt? And every single person watching this should be questioning his memory, because he's already admitted that he may have misremembered something, that his memories are kind of layered, that they're coming together and they're getting mixed in his head because of whatever's going on with him. And which is why he had the MRI, was to check to see what's going on with his head. And so they're discussing again, and he kind of gets pissed that I keep telling you it was not in the gun locker. It was in my biometric safe next to the bed. And so finally he says, whatever. And they try to say, "Hey man, we're all trying to get to the truth. We're all military." And he goes, "No, you guys are wannabes. And what you look for is any opportunity to go after one of my guys to make your fucking career." And I love that he said that, because the show NCIS has given a lot of misinformation that people in the military respect and like NCIS, and they do not, especially Navy SEALs, because they've gone after a lot of Navy SEALs. And they particularly went after one in the last 5 years, which, John, I'm sure you know the case I'm talking about, and Don too,
Yeah.
where they were trying to railroad this guy and, make him out to be a real bad guy, because two of his subordinates didn't like the way he did things. So they Me Too'd him to NCIS. And they had a guy in NCIS just like this asshole that was out to make a career on these guys. And it got curtailed, thank God, by a sitting president, and said, "No, I'm not going to allow you to do this to a hero. I'm not going to let you do this," and stopped it. So this scene is where is this where he has to go meet his, the Admiral?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this guy's a great actor. He was one of the actors that was interested in doing my script, The Darker. He wanted to do it because he was very interested in a serious vampire film. And I said, well, it's serious to a point. There's a lot of comedy in it, but the comedy in it is like Ghostbusters, where it's not shtick, it's reactionary comedy, where somebody reacts to something and it's just naturally funny when they react to it. So this guy's a very good fucking actor. And so he's playing the Admiral, and he's special operations commander. And so he has to meet with him. And this is to go over part of the investigation and how basically he throws it back onto Chris Pratt's character, telling him that, look, we stuck our neck out for you previously, and yes, you had to retract your statement. And now you're telling us this is something else happening, and you want us to stick our neck out again for you? And he says this to this guy right after he buried his wife and child. And it's a fuck up. I think any combat effective soldier might have lost his shit with this guy for saying that to him. And so he's basically putting it all back on Chris Pratt's character, saying that, we're kind of done helping you right now. We're going to wait and see what happens now. But in the process of the way he phrases it right here, there we go. We start seeing him losing his shit with him, and it quickly ends up with him putting him in a chokehold, which, tells me immediately he never intended to kill him, because he would have just killed him. He just wanted to put him in a chokehold to let him know, fucking drop that shit with me now. And of course, he just physically handled his commanding officer. So it's not going to be good for him.
No.
That's not something that's going to go unmentioned. And so the other officer, I don't know if he's JAG or command, I can't remember, but he
the black guy.
Yeah,
he was the guy that trained him for SEALs.
Okay, so he was with Buds. Okay, so he tells him, let him go, man, let him go. You can't do this. And so he does. And immediately we go to, this is what's her name walking up to Prick Agent, NCIS Prick.
Yeah.
Look at him with the fucking chewing gum. He looks like a prick. Look at him. He looks like an officious piece of shit. Just when I saw guys like that in the military, I just want to knock the fucking shit out of them just for looking at him. Yeah, great casting in this show. Yeah.
That was some dead air.
Yeah. I stopped to read it. So this is almost like a Bobby Kennedy type haircut. I never liked Bobby's haircut. I was like, John had a better haircut, but even he had a prick haircut. So she's the reporter who Pratt is trying to start or some kind of relationship with. And so, and he's got a little bit of trust in her only because she really does care about soldiers or people, military personnel, the people out in the front lines, the guys downrange in particular.
And she also really wants to find out what's happening. She isn't buying any shit. She's investigating.
The thing though is she doesn't believe him at this point. She thinks something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
And so she approaches NCIS, and in order to make herself ingratiate herself a little bit with this guy, she mentions that Chris Pratt's character pointed a gun at her. Now, we all know she fucking followed him home.
Yeah.
She's lucky she didn't get shot doing that. You don't do that. And she should have known that. But I don't know, she's withholding that information on purpose in order to ingratiate herself with this guy.
I think she is.
On purpose. I think she is. So she goes in there. So he's going to let her go look at the crime scene there at the medical facility. That's a word I hate the word facility. It just sounds like you're drunk when you try to say it. Facility. So we're in the MRA facility, and we see all the red lines here that you see are where supposedly the shots were taken from and where they went. And yet there is absolutely zero physical evidence in here that anything happened, except for him struggling. But they can't find any proof that there's no blood. There's nothing in here.
There was blood, though.
There's none in there now, except for in this part of the clinic where the doctors were killed. Their blood's still there, where they were shot. And of course, they show this angle here next to her. You see that looks like a camera. It's actually showing the angle where the gun was when it shot the doctors. So it's all, if you look at all the lines, it is trying to say that whoever shot the doctors shot them with his gun and at close range. And he was there. He's the only one that they know and have any proof was there. But he, of course, this prick here is he throws out there, it's either he did this or somebody cleaned this up before I got here. And I was the first person that got here, which poses a problem because what did Chris Pratt do when he was on the way home?
The character's name is Reese.
He called 911 and told them where to go. So how is it that NCIS got to the crime scene before the police? And that becomes a problem.
They were in the area.
And that becomes a problem for him in particular. So she's seeing this and she's starting to see, she's getting doubt in her mind that maybe Chris Pratt is crazy. And now we see him at home looking at his what do you call him? End table next to his bed, nightstand.
Yeah.
And where the safe is, and thinking, and he's processing, and he's trying to figure things out. And she shows up again.
Yeah.
She shows up again. And you can go over this one, hon. You can talk about what she's talking about here.
Well, she wants to talk to him, and he tells her to go around the house and meet him there. And she basically tells him she's on his side. He starts trusting her because he sets up a way of communicating with phones that can't be tracked for the both of them. And she gets him to sign, what's it called? A paper that...
medical release.
Yeah,
medical release.
Medical release. That's the thing I was trying
and
to
this
get.
is a sign of trust.
Yeah.
That he trusts her now to do this.
So
and I think
okay
she
with-
takes that very seriously, that he trusts her to do that.
She's a little bit freaked out by his communication strategy. She's like, that's a little bit over, though. That's what I thought when I watched this.
Yeah,
he
because she absolutely thinks there's a good possibility he did this. But she also believes that if he did it, he doesn't know he did it.
Yeah. And
That
she just
he
wants
may have
to
been
find
in an
out.
altered state. So she wants to get down to it. So, and then she shares with him the police department's records. And I can't remember, what was it they discussed here?
I can't either. It was so late last night when we watched
It was something about the crime scene, and he has a problem with it right here. This is where he points it out. How did NCIS get there before law enforcement and EMS? How did that happen? That can't happen unless they were already there, and that's where this gets mentioned the first time.
And it's the second time, because with Boozer, Holder was
happened
also
to be
first
right
one
in the
there.
area again. That's impossible. So he's
Unless-
starting to piece together something, and we're going to see that as it goes forward, he begins to see that guy, military prick NCIS guy, his eyes as the eyes of the guy that he stabbed in the arm. And this is where he's really putting it together like that. These are some intense scenes, but he also, is this where he warns her about her? No, that's later. That's later that he warns her about her safety. And
That's the next episode.
And he's sitting there, and God, man, he's going through this shit, and he's looking up information on this dude. And here it is, right here. He puts his fingers above and below his eyes to mask out, the rest of his face, just the eyes, and he gets that. It's him. But again, he's an unreliable narrator.
And to be fair, if you remember, because I went back and looked in the first episode when he's attacked.
It really does. It does look a lot like him.
I did that too.
Oh, I think we all did. I did that. Well, you and I do that all the time, Anima, but John's a lot like us too. And here it begins. This is the name of the show. Terminal List. He starts his list. Josh Holder, NCIS.
On the back of his little girl's artwork.
Yep, on the back of the artwork. And of course, you'll find out later that the name of the show, Terminal List, is a double entendre. I won't explain it right now. Staying in that house, I just don't understand why he would want to do that. And let's see, what is going on here? I can't remember.
Well,
He checks out a truck from the motor pool of the SEALs.
Yeah, also, he finds out where Holder is living, because there's only one way to find out if he was the guy at the clinic, because he stabbed him in the left.
Oh, yeah, he's got to follow him, and he starts taking photos of him. This is really cool what happens here. And he goes back to see Ben, tells him what he found out so far, what he suspects. Ben is like, "Are you sure, man? You sure you want to do this? You sure this is the direction you want to go with this? I'll help you, man. I'm there for you, man. But once you start going this direction," he's basically warning him, you're opening up a can of worms that you might not be able to close once you open
but he's
it.
already on that path, doing the paperwork professionally.
Yeah,
and all that.
he put together a target package. That's what he put together. It wasn't just taking pictures. He was putting together a target package because he's already decided he's going after this guy.
And he's a professional.
Yeah.
The way he does all that and cleans up after himself.
You don't want a Navy SEAL pissed at you.
No.
For any reason.
Because I've told people, I said, you'll hear reports of some bad guy dying in bed. And I'm like, don't put it past our fucking tier 1 operators having done that. I said, we don't use the CIA as much as you think to kill people. We use tier 1 operators all the time to kill people. We're not supposed to assassinate. It's an idea that got put forward because of John Kennedy, his death. So Lyndon B. Johnson put an executive order. But here's the funny thing. People don't understand executive orders. The minute that president is out of office, that executive order doesn't have to be obeyed anymore.
Nope.
If it carries over, it's only because the following president allows it. And it's been sitting on the books for years. But the fact is, I'm telling you, we kill leaders all the time. We kill from basic leaders, guerrilla leaders, to fucking political leaders who are evil. And I think that's something I like in this show. When he is talking to that girl later, I think it's to her, or it's a politician. I can't remember who he's talking to. And he says, we're not fighting bad guys. We look evil in the eye and we kill evil. That is what we do. And that is what I found from a lot of the tier 1 operators I've gotten to know over the years, that they really believe in the work they do. Every tier 1 operator I've ever met has that general belief that, yeah, when I'm told to kill somebody, we absolutely believe that's an evil motherfucker we're about to put down, go after, hunt. And so, you know, a lot of people would say, oh, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm going to tell you something. They're drinking a Kool-Aid that they know all the fucking ingredients of. And they're drinking it knowingly. So tier 1 operators, man, sharp dudes. So in this scene with Ben and him is, yeah, it's basically he's building his terminal list, and this is going to be a hit package that he's putting together. God, can I get over the intensity in his fucking eyes in all these scenes? People who do not think he can act just piss me off. It's like, you really aren't paying attention. You're focusing on a character, not the actor, because you saw him play a character.
And look at his face. You know, is you can look at it and tell he hasn't been sleeping.
Yeah, look at the fucking lines under his eyes. That's not makeup. He's done something to prepare for this role. He's probably fighting sleep in real life. I wouldn't put it past him to go a little method on this. You know, and
you've brought this up a few times. Who's saying that he can't act? Because I mean, shit, he's great, and like he should be nominated for.
There were a lot of early on when this show came out. I saw a lot of comments in chat in different groups, not just our show and other shows, where it's Chris Pratt can't act, and I'm like, holy shit! I wouldn't have even watched Parks and Rec if not for him. That's why his character didn't get killed. He was supposed to go die or leave. He was only supposed to be in for part of one season, but he was so fucking good. They were like, we can't get rid of this guy. He is too good. And yes, he got in trouble with human resources because when they opened that door for that one shot where he's standing there supposedly naked, he was naked. His dick was hanging out. And their reaction was real. His penis hanging out there. It's funny as hell. Pratt is dedicated. He's dedicated to the comedy. He's dedicated to whatever role he's playing. And he went all in on this. And that's why I'm pissed that nobody has released any of the training for this film or the show, because he went through a lot of intense training for this, like John Wick level. They put John Wick stuff out showing him doing the gun training and shit, the fight training. But there nothing about what he did. They talked about it. Some of the Navy SEALs that helped train him that were on set as well as the tactical advisor, they talked about it, but they don't show it. We need to see that.
You know, I wonder if that's a political thing, because this is Amazon. It's
Amazon and Bezos is very. He is an absolute card-carrying socialist.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. And this is I was surprised they did this
show. Well, the show happened. And why Jack Ryan got changed for season 3 back to what it was supposed to be, because it's supposed to be Jack Ryan. A lot of people don't know that Tom Clancy was a closet conservative. He's not. I don't know if he was a Republican, but he was a conservative, like I am. I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. It's a difference. And he got pissed because when they made the movie Clear and Present Danger, they showed the president's desk with jelly beans on it, which was a shot at Ronald Reagan.
Right.
And he says Ronald Reagan was the president in his book. And he got pissed because it was a dirty shot by the producers to have that put in there. And I didn't mind it at all. I actually thought that was, I liked that president. I thought it was interesting, the bad spot he was in.
Back to this whole, like what you were saying with the training videos and stuff like that. I just don't think I don't think this is one of those shows that they believe in enough that they want to do that, kind of like with the John Wick, because like political agendas was all I was getting at. I think so. As much as
it could very well be. It could be.
I think they sold it to Amazon as a show about a military guy losing it, and
I'm sure there were lots of things, but I got to tell you, Bezos may be a socialist, but he is not stupid. He understands that Prime is losing money on these shows, so he agreed to let some of the Reacher. These shows came into existence because he understood that's the meat and potatoes of his channel. That's the meat and potatoes of the service.
I'm not sure. I'll check.
Okay.
What? Right. Greenlit what?
A season 2 of the Terminal List, because I hope so.
I'm pretty sure it did. Before it was even done with the first week, it was greenlit because it was like one of the most number one watched shows. Yeah. So here we see him at the apartment where NCIS Dick lives.
NCIS.
And we meet this pretty lady who's the manager there, and he's there pretending to be, because look how clean cut he is. He's wearing a suit jacket without a tie. Yeah, I'd like to live here. I'd love to see the property. Can you show it to me? And she wants to initially go through a locked door. And he's like, no, can we go the other way? Because I want to see more towards the waterfront. Because he knows he can't go through that door. And so he needs to see this area here near the beach.
And casually finds out that there's no security system. And she's really proud
he
of
goes
that.
through it.
It's such
He
a
acts
safe
like an interested
neighborhood.
party. Yeah, he's like, I'm interested in living here.
And of course she's buying it because he's so believable.
He looks like the kind of guy that would want to live there. He's checking it out. He's checking the location. There's his means of entrance and egress. And they're on the back stairwell, and he knows now with the back stairs there's a gate on it, but he can get past that gate, and he knows how. And so there's a lot of tree coverage around. He's going to use it. Yeah, I heard too that it was getting season 2. Look, they're insane if they don't give a season 2 to that show. It was a hit. This show was a hit.
Well, Chris Pratt, they haven't announced season 2. But Chris Pratt came out and said there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's going to happen because Bezos needs money, and he knows that his stupid ideas aren't making it. So he's doing stuff. The meat and potatoes is going to be stuff like this, Reacher, Jack Ryan. Sadly, Jack Ryan ended because of Marvel. I really do believe Kaczynski is going to be part of what's going forward with Marvel, which I think it's sad because he got it right with season 3 is the best season. Season 1 was okay. It was good, not great. But then they fired the showrunners. Huge mistake. Season 2 came in. It was socialist propaganda, pure propaganda. And it pissed me off because it was a good story and they fucked it up. That's what happens when you use real world. When you start using real world stuff, real world people, real world countries, and how they're run, you risk doing that, and they did, and it pissed a lot of people off. Season 3 was a nod to Mace Neufeld and the way he made the movies, the Jack Ryan movies, and I thought they made up for it. And this show, absolutely, and I'm glad he's executive producer on this because this is a very good show, very pro soldier. Not pro-military, pro-soldier. I don't care if it's pro-military. I'm pro-soldier. Wait, didn't Reed Richards... I'm not even going to get into it with you, dude. Seriously? Multiverse? And you asked that question? Seriously? Anyway. The word multiverse of madness should tell you not to ask that question, Bill. There are multiple versions of people. I'm just shaking my head at you, Bill. Shaking my head. So he's in there. He's now in one of the apartments, sees how the locks work. And we see immediately the kind of deadbolt. And I actually explained something to Anima in this, that if he wanted to, with that deadbolt lock, that is, what do they call it? It's a special kind of lock that you can reprogram if you have the little tool where you can use the key, turn it 45 degrees, pull the key out and put the tool in and push the button and then put another key in and turn it the rest of the way. And that way you have now coded into a new key as the one key.
Which, of course, is not what he's going to do because...
No, it wouldn't make sense. Once I thought about it, it's like, oh, he wouldn't want to do that because he's got the other guy, the NCIS prick, has to be able to get back into his apartment. If he changes the lock, he wouldn't be able to get in. So I'm like, yeah, that's dumb, Gary. Shut up. But I showed you something you didn't know. You thought that was neat.
I didn't know that.
So we get to see him working this lock and picking it and being able to get in. And now we get to see the young reporter doing something. And it's really interesting because apparently this is how she spends her free time. Gambling. She's a gambling junkie. She likes to gamble. And she likes to take young guys for their money because she's a girl and she's going to make these guys think that she doesn't know how to play.
I had a huge problem with this scene because if this were realistic, as someone who frequently, as a Vegas resident, I frequently play table games and I love poker. Had that happened in real life, that dude would have been escorted out of the building because they don't take that shit lightly.
Oh, no. Yeah.
If you're not in the game, you can't say shit. And like when he told that
he
kid,
walks
like,
up, yeah,
I was like, dude,
right.
I'm surprised she didn't punch him in the like. If that had been me,
to explain it, they don't know what we're talking about. So she is basically playing these two young guys like she doesn't know how to gamble, and then her sort of boss comes up. This lady here would have called security on the dude when he comes up. He is her boss, an editor for one of the magazines she does work for, and she owes him some work.
Yeah,
and so he comes in
out on him, so he's pissed.
Yeah, so he's pissed. And so he comes in, interrupts the game, and tells these kids, you better run away now. She's going to take your money.
Yeah, and one kid's like in the middle of a bet while the kid's about to push all in.
Yeah, the kid's about to push all in. And he goes, seriously, kid, you need to go. Absolutely, the house would have thrown him out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They wouldn't have allowed that to happen. But it costs her money. And that's really what it's there for. So let you know that he's pissed at her. And so
still a dick move.
It's a dick move, but it wouldn't have been allowed in real life.
Yeah.
So they go have a conversation at the bar. She starts informing him what she's investigating. And he's like, "You've got what?" And she says, "Yes, I've got a signed consent form release." And so he's like, "Okay, I'll help you." So they finish their drinks. She sits there. She's still pissed that she didn't get that money. She wanted that money. And we now cut to the scene where he's going to break in. And there's that gate we were talking about.
Because he needs the data on Holder's laptop.
Yeah, he needs to get into his apartment, get onto his laptop. And so he climbs over, it's a real cool scene. It's Chris Pratt doing it. It's a stunt double.
Yeah.
That was really fucking cool. Full fucking ninja moves, man. That was really fucking cool to watch.
I want to see the training for that. That behind the scenes.
Why is there no training videos for this? Exactly. I'm just so fucking annoyed at this. Then we see him break in, and I'm curious because I have never actually done this. And you said that I know how to do this. I actually don't know how to do what he's doing here. I know how to do the other thing. I don't know how to do this. My buddy Mac, who does the voiceover work for the show for the Dangerous Military Nerds, he has broken into my apartment, led to him and me almost getting into it one night. He broke into my apartment at 1 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was Zoe. I went out and all I could see is a bald silhouette. And I grabbed him by the throat and he grabbed me by the throat. And we both had our fist backs and he was just fucking around. And then I went, oh my God, I know that bald head. And I pushed him by his throat. I said, motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. And he goes, I'd have killed you back. Fucking dickhead breaking into my apartment. He could do this, man. He was very good at picking locks. He had a really nice set.
Probably wanted to steal something from you again.
No, he never. When he steals stuff from me, he just says, hey, let me see that. And then I never see it again. Or I'll see it, but it'll be on him because he'll be wearing my hats. He stole my military boonie cap I had in the military. He stole that. He stole my Irish cap from Ireland, Donegal, Ireland. That wool cap, stole that. That motherfucker. But anyway, so he breaks into the apartment here. It's a really cool scene. And I'm curious if that's how it's done. I want to ask Mac to watch that scene and give me his 2 cents. And he gets in there, gets in the apartment. goes to his shit, and downloads information.
Before he's taking the laptop to download the info, he's taking a picture of the table because he's leaving no trace. He's in and out
this
like
is
a ghost.
This is actually something that was on a great Perry Mason episode called The Case of the Angry Astronaut. And in it, the killer, ingenious fucking killer, took a photo. He made it look like the crime scene, looked like a fight took place after he shot this guy, took a photo of it, and then put everything back. And then the other person that he was going to frame shows up, hides the body even. And the guy thinks he's having a conversation with the victim, but it's actually the person doing an impersonation of him, the killer. And then he leaves, and then the killer comes back downstairs, puts the body back, puts everything back exactly the way the photo is, and then throws the photo in the fire. It's a Polaroid, one of the early ones, which had a little tin piece in it. And that's how they ended up figuring out what had happened. Was Perry is like more of a detective than he was a lawyer, because he would just figure things out. And he's like, what is this weird piece of evidence in the fire? Nobody's identified yet. And it was the piece of metal of aluminum that used to be in the old Polaroids when they first started making them. And he realized that that's what the guy did, is he had taken a photo of the crime scene, set everything up, and it's great. And that's what he's doing here. He's doing the same thing. It's a way of making sure you put everything back exactly the way it's supposed to be put back. There's no mistake. Because I got to tell you, OCD guys like I'm OCD. I will spot something in a heartbeat. If it's not right, I'll go, wait a minute, that's not the way I left that. And I am one of those people that I've been known during certain periods of time, because I had people that wanted to kill me. I would put a single hair, I'd pull a hair out, I lick it and put it against you can't see it, a little lower portion of the door. When the door opens, that hair falls. Mm-hmm. So he's doing this, and OCD guys, especially investigators are by nature OCD. They notice everything. So he's making sure to put it back, because he knows that this guy's probably OCD and is going to notice everything. So, and I love the fact that he greased the hinges so no one would hear him come in or go. And this door is not the door he came in. This is the other door in the apartment to get in. And that's, of course, clearly what he's going to come in the next time he comes in, if he's planning to come in. And he's planning to come in, because once he figures out if this guy is involved in some way, he's going to want to kill him. So he goes to the guy's computer, downloads everything, and then takes it back and shows it to his buddy. And more damning information is on there. Do you recall what was on there?
Yeah, there was proof that he had accessed Reese's biometrics 2 days before.
That's right. Accessed his biometrics
before the incident happened.
Yeah, so
because Reese is still freaked out that
in his
somebody
mind, he
took
knows
the gun out of his safe.
Someone took the gun out, and he believes he's the one who killed his family. He believes he killed his family. He believes this NCIS prick is the murderer. And then this is the bar scene with the politician, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With
the Secretary of State.
Yep. SecDev.
Yep. She's
Secretary of Defense,
Secretary of Defense. She wants to meet with him, and which I thought was odd. Like, why is she wanting to meet with him? But look,
she has info that he needs to get.
She knows also that he is the only survivor of one of the worst SEAL team catastrophes in the history of the joint military tactical operations. And I just forgot the name of it. Something 17 is the worst to date. And that was when a lot of the SEAL team that was involved with the killing of bin Laden were killed. Extortion 17. Extortion 17, the shoot down of Extortion 17 killed a lot of special forces and tier 1 operators. and it killed the part of the team, if not most of the team, that killed bin Laden. Not all of them, but it killed a lot of them. They were on that operation, and they were downed by not a regular rocket. They were downed by a guided rocket. How did the Taliban get a guided rocket? And it was American. So, yeah, it's been a problem. Nobody wants to talk about it in the government. That how did they get a hold of that, and how did they know? And it's been said that the Navy SEALs were betrayed by leaders in the government, given up in order to appease certain people as retribution for them killing bin Laden. That's my point that I'm trying to get at. So she's sitting down with him. In the mob, they call this a sit down. Hey, it's a sit down. Hey, how you doing? Hey,
he's trying to convince her that Kahani is behind this, that Kahani is selling killers.
He believes that Kahani is the one that's after him and killed the team.
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't understand. He can't be. And while they're talking,
all the phones go off.
All the phones go off for big news
bar.
because it's military installation nearby. So a lot of military personnel in there. All their phones start going off, and then
Someone
it
tells
hits
the
the
barkeeper,
TV.
turn on the TV, and the barkeeper turns it on, and we get the news that Kahani has been killed.
Yeah, Kahani has been targeted and killed. And this again, right here, I love this. This is Fox News. Socialists hate Fox News. So they use Fox News on this is purely Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Because it's, even though it is not a conservative news network, but they have conservatives on there, whereas they don't have it on any other news networks. Fox is the only one. It's about 50%, 50-50.
At least
and they consider that bad.
Or that other one,
Newsmax is 100% conservative.
Yeah.
Fox News is about 50-50.
Then there's that other
one.
one, the One Network America.
I don't watch
Network,
that.
yeah.
OAN. Yeah, I don't watch them.
That one.
I don't watch them. I don't watch. I watch Newsmax every once in a while.
My dad.
Three
that's
guys.
all
One
he
of them's a
watches.
veteran, and I love him a lot. Greg is a former Marine, and I love that guy.
Yeah,
I don't give a
dad-
shit if people don't like him.
The only
He's a
two
veteran.
news channels he watched. That's the only reason I ever heard of him. Are those two? The OAN and the news.
Yeah, I don't like. Oh wait, and there's another one, and then Newsmax. Also, there's the Russian-owned one. I can't remember.
Oh
its
yeah.
name.
I know what you're talking about. The
Russian Times.
RT.
No.
RT?
It's Russian Times, but they changed the name to RT because they have offices all over the world now.
You know, Kadish writes for RT. Their entertainment.
Look, I like them. They're fun, but I'm not going to get my news from them. I don't trust them for news. But entertainment, when they start talking about entertainment, I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to point out something. It hit the major networks and hit some of the rags this week. That Greg Gutfeld beat Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yeah,
for audience, kicked his ass. So NBC is a little pissed now that they gave Jimmy Fallon $80 million. I think they're having buyer's remorse with him right now, is what the news is saying, the entertainment news. Look, Greg Gutfeld, I fucking love that dude. He pisses me off because he's very disparaging towards nerds. If you've never heard him, back when he did the show Red Eye, he talks shit about comic nerds and movie nerds. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. But I still love it because, one, he's funny as hell. I like it when he has his team on, the other comic, the funny ones like Kennedy. She's hilarious. He has his show. I like watching his show. I like it when he does it with the other show, the Five.
So what does that have to do with Fallon? I'm confused. Is it another late night show I've never heard of or something? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a late show on Fox.
They have, they put him up against Fallon on Fox News.
And, but is it like a talk show though? So it's like the same.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I've never even heard of this. Okay.
And Greg Gutfeld's fucking hilarious, dude. He's a sarcastic prick.
Okay.
And what I love about him is, if somebody says something stupid in front of him, as polite as he tries to be, he will call you out for your stupid shit. If you are stupid in public in front of him, he will call you out and then make fun of you for it. and he's done that live on TV. People saying stupid shit in front of him, he'll call them out. Gutfeld's funny as hell. And when he did Red Eye, a lot of people don't know this. The guy that was his producer, Green Beret.
Yep.
Green Beret military veteran. Fucking cool dude. Liked him. He was funny too. They all had that sardonic wit. I like that dry wit.
Guys, we had 15 minutes. Can we please finish the episode?
Let's see. We finish this scene and we go on to see him at home. And Ben comes in to talk to him, and
that's when he tells him about the two, the thing, that it was 2 days that he accessed 2 days prior. That's when he actually found out, because he had time to go through it. It's also when he gives him the 45.
Yeah, he unwrapped it. That's his best friend who blew his brains out with his service pistol. And he's saying that he'd have never shot himself with his service pistol. He would have shot him with his favorite gun. And so Ben gives him the gun. And so here we are back at the clinic. She shows up and starts talking to the medical person at the front and needs this information. And she goes, well, you'll have to wait. And she goes, is there a way I might not have to wait? And she unfolds the folder showing that there's $100 bill in there. And look, if you know anything about medical professionals, they're struggling most of the time. So yeah, she took that money. It's not going to hurt anything. She's just going to give her the information early.
Yeah.
And so it gives her access to that. This is information that even NCIS doesn't have. Nobody would have this information yet. This is from the MRI. Yes. And because the doctors that were doing the MRI were killed, it's not been processed. That's what happened. So therefore,
she needs to find someone to process.
So she got it before anybody else, and she needs a doctor. She calls her editor, says, find me a neurologist to do a workup on this MRI. And then we see him going to the apartment.
Yeah.
And this is a man on a mission.
If Kahani is that someone is still killing his after him to kill him.
Now this, I will tell you right here, this is our answer as the audience of what's really going on in this scene. This will tell us whether it's all in his head and he's insane or if it's really happening. But there's still more, because her character isn't convinced yet. And she does represent the audience. In my opinion, she is the Greek chorus.
In the next one, definitely in the next episode.
But for us, really, to be honest, this episode tells us right here in this scene what's going on. And so he ninjas up into this fucking building. I don't know if this is him here, because we don't get to see his face this time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it is him. Because of verisimilitude. Chris Pratt strikes me as a very truth is important in the image. And so that's my physique. That's me. That should be me.
I think he could totally do it. So.
Oh, he did it the first time. So we know he can do it. So he goes into the apartment, collects the guy's gun, goes into his room. And
it's on the night.
And I'm going to explain to you, suppressors don't work the way they show you in movies.
Nope.
It's still, you can hear the pop. It's just not quite as loud or pronounced. And I love that he dips the barrel into his mouth and lifts. And I was like, that was
waking
really cool.
up like that.
Fucking barrel in your fucking mouth, going, "Hey, sweetie, hey, you might not want to move." And so he starts questioning him.
Show me your arms. That's what he is.
And that's the first thing he wants. I want to see your arms. And this is a moment, and let me go ahead and I'm going to drop us down for a second so you can actually see this.
Drop us.
When he demands him to bring his arms out, come on, move forward, move forward, move forward. when he makes him bring his arms out, I skipped ahead too far. Basically, he sees that there's no wounds.
No wound on the left arm.
So he can't be the guy that he fought.
But I think he'll still be the guy who killed his family.
So this scene keeps going. So he's not going to give up on this conversation. And then he goes into a flashback of another incident where he and his team were questioning. This is called a field interrogation. Field interrogations are frowned upon, but they happen. The reason why is they're not controlled settings, and this is where you can get away with torture. And that's why they're frowned upon. And so they're questioning this guy, and he's in this memory, remembering this incident. And you know that he's not actually there, even in the memory, because look, his hair's cut and he's got no beard, because he's sporting a beard when they're out in the field, when they're downrange, as they call it.
And Ben's clean cut.
And he's talking in this, and actually the NCIS prick responds to that, saying,
like, who are you talking
I don't know
to?
who you're talking to, but, you know, because he's having a conversation in his head, but also out loud.
Yeah.
So this guy, you know, is feeling very unsafe, but he's got him flexi-cuffed right now. He's completely flexi-cuffed.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, man, I want to help you. I want to give you a name, blah, 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 and help you do something. And he's like, stop bullshitting me. Stop fucking with me. And tells him to put his arms up over his head. And it's at this point, that's the moment right here. You know, right before this is when he finally gets a name. He gives the name of the next person in line under him or over him.
Saul Agnon.
And right after he gives him the information,
he makes a move, which is stupid.
Chris
because he
Pratt
gets him killed.
like hesitates for a second and goes, "Who? What name? Who?" And when he does that, he takes advantage of it and he attacks Chris Pratt, hits him, and immediately Chris Pratt
just
fires and shoots him in the head. Well, under the jaw, and blows out the back of his head onto the wall. And so there's a little bit of mess there on the wall. See that up there? Ooh. That's
I really love how calm he is doing that. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, he's done this. He's an operator.
And
so
stuff was dripping down the wall. That's how realistic it looked. I mean, because you could see stuff dripped on the pillow there.
The pillow down below. So after he does this, he's very calm. Switches out weapons. Puts the gun in his hand.
Takes the round out.
Now, I will tell you this. Because of the close range firing, he will have residue on his hands. It may not show as much as you think, but he will have residue on his hands because his hands were right there when he fired the bullet.
Yeah.
Gun level. So he's going to have gunpowder residue on his hand.
And blood spatter.
And blood splatter. So he puts the gun there, and then he does something very casual. He takes the empty shell and drops it. So it lands natural. Not places it, drops it. Because the dropping of the empty round makes indentations into the sheet that they will look for. That it's a natural drop and not just placed there. So, and this is a great scene, but right now you will now officially know there's a conspiracy and that people killed his family and that he was the target too. But why? And so he exfils out. And I love that shot of him walking towards the American flag.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful shot. And executive producer, fucking Chris Pratt. Fuck yeah. I'm going to go over by at least a half hour. We're going to finish this last episode quickly.
Yeah.
Because I want to finish this up.
I mean, we can do 3 and 4 next week and go 2, 2, 2 to finish it because we got 6 more left now.
Yeah, that would actually balance it out.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Well,
wait,
sorry.
What? Say that again because I was doing something. Explain that again.
if we end now and then next week we do episodes 3 and 4 and then 5 and 6 and then 7 and 8, it evens it out.
Jesus Christ, your OCD drives me crazy, baby.
Stop saying that.
No, we want them in the numbers. We got to be the numbers are important. Sure, baby.
Regardless of what you guys decide, I do have to dip out. I have a hard out. I have an appointment in 5 minutes.
You're hard and you need to go.
You're so fun. Love you guys. I'll hit you up later,
Love
Gary.
you, buddy. See you later, man.
Bye.
That was a hard out.
Yeah, I can't go over half an hour because I need to go to a shop. So
okay, so you got things to do. I've got things to do that are more important than you, Gary. Now you.
it's fucking with the audio. That's
No,
weird.
it's fucking Martin finally showing back up. Hey, Martin, where were you?
I know nothing.
Oh man. You know, producing a show, being a producer.
You keep using the word. I don't know.
Producer. Yeah, the word producer.
You keep using the word.
Yeah, the word producer.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Before we end the show, there's something we want to get out because it's the birthday of one of our very good friends today.
Yeah, he didn't show up. And I'm so pissed off that he didn't join us today. I want to wish a big happy birthday to our friend. Go ahead.
Matt Vader.
That's right. Lord Matt Vader. Matt, happy birthday, dude. He's in his 50s now. God bless you. You made it. Half a century. Look at you. I love Matt. He knows that.
I was hoping he'd be in chat today.
Well, I was invited him to join us. I wanted him to join us so I could say it to him live.
Yeah.
But happy birthday, Matt. Look forward to many more years of being your friend. You're an awesome dude. And welcome to the club. Half Century Club, man. You know, half centennial.
That sounds terrible.
Man, we old.
Ancient.
But I want to thank everybody for being here. Let's go back to the list. Of course, first person here is Jennifer Lawrence, new to the show. At least it looks like they're new because they aren't a member in this or a subscriber. Monkey Jubas was here. Thank you. Come again. Gap After Dark. Alex Moore. Geely Chow was here. Dragon Ruse. Joseph Dredd. King's Port Cal. Good to see you, Cal. I love it when even our members of our chat start missing each other. Last week, D-Bud Martin and Monkey Jeebus were missing Kingsport Cow. Is he okay? You know, Marcus was here. Of course, D-Bud Martin, Christian Delorme, Penny, Scribe Light, Don Ecker was not only on the show later, but was in the chat. Bill Barkley, Cavatino Cavalryman Che, Dread Roberts was here. Peter Vinkman fan site. We're so glad you're here. Real Wade Nation. And Dad Man Walking 55. I'm assuming 55 is your age, but I don't know. Because it seems like you were talking about a movie. I was reading one of your comments, and I don't know. It sounds like you were younger than I thought you were. So, and Das Wolfen, member for 14 months on the PC, and boom.
Awesome.
Boom, baby.
And
boom.
By the way, guys, when we say we have the best chat on YouTube, we mean it.
Well, it's true because, and it's true that we share the chat. You guys watch a lot of the shows in our network. Our network includes Midnight's Edge. It includes, oh shit, I'm having brain fart right now for some of the other shows. Fat Steven Seagal, even Friday Night Tights and Doomcock's Friday Night Frolics. Is that what he calls it on Friday? And we will be getting Doomcock on here because I've talked to Mikey. Mikey does a show with Doomcock, and we're going to get him on here.
Is he going to wear his mask?
I hope so, because Doomcock and you know each other. Don and Doomcock know each other. And definitely Doomcock gets a thumbs up from Don because he's a good dude. A straight shooter, man. I like Doomcock. We may not agree on Deckard and Blade Runner, but he still loves the fucking movie, and that's all that's important to me. Jeebus said, what was that? I didn't see that last comment. What was it? When I start working, I'll only be able to watch the afternoon show if I sneak away to the bathroom. Look, I'm telling you, that's what earbuds are for. When you're working, you can listen to the show and do whatever work you're doing. And by the way, I don't really consider it, working in a massage parlor is real labor. It really is.
But can he smoke his bong?
Oh, this is true. Are you allowed to take your bong with you to work, or are you going to have to suffer and do a real job and not be allowed to have that? He's getting AR glasses so I can watch. Google Glass. You can actually join us on Google Glass, but that's going to suck. I hope we see some of you on the daily shows because we miss you when you're not around, Monkey. But anyway, I want to thank all y'all for being here. Thank you, Anima. Thank you, Don, for dropping in. Thank you, Martin, for being at least part of the show. There was a time when I was like, so, you heard me. I was like, Martin, and he wasn't there. And then, of course, John, of course, thank you for being here, buddy. I like this show a lot. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. This is a really good show. I think it's one of the.
I love it, but I enjoy it.
I consider it better than SEAL Team, but only because it goes deeper into things, and I also think the tactics in it are a little better than SEAL Team because they actually have active duty and prior service Navy SEALs helping with the tactics used in the show.
SEAL Team has more action.
Well, it is. It's more
field work, and I really enjoy that.
And for Paramount, I got to tell you, CBS Paramount, it's amazing a show like that's getting made over on that network. It's a garbage network for a lot of stuff. All they have is SEAL Team and Taylor Sheridan. That's it. Without Taylor Sheridan and SEAL Team, it's a garbage network. So they'll let me go to my car and smoke. So they're not going to drop you, huh? No piss tests. So, oh wait, what's this? I missed this one. Since Last of Us is on Saturday coming, I'm probably not gonna watch that show.
I will.
And there's two reasons. One, because the people that made the game woke are executive producers on the show. Why do I want to watch your crap? And I don't really like that cocksucker they got playing the dad or whatever he is. I'm sick of his shit.
And it's not Saturday, it's Sunday. Well, it might be Saturday for him, but
I will support Mandalorian, but I will not support anything else he does because I think he's an asshole for some of the shit he said.
Oh, he is.
It's
more importantly,
like him.
Friday,
what?
A week from Friday is Vox Machina season 2.
You never saw him defend Gina Carano. Fuck him then. Piece of shit. Piece of shit.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit if he wasn't behind Gina leaving because they got.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if he was part of the cabal to get her removed. So fuck that guy. But I love Mando. I love the show. I'd like it if they just fired him as the physical actor and just let John Wayne and the other dude play him physically, and he just does the voice like it's a cartoon. Don't even bother coming in the studio, motherfucker. Anyway. I don't know, Gary. Tell us how you really feel. I will. I'll tell you.
How dare you!
Were you going to say something, Don? I thought I heard your voice.
I said, you really know that he is a cocksucker?
I have no doubt that he is a pole-smoking cocksucker motherfucker. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day. Try to make it a good Monday because it really, I got to be honest, it's just another fucking Monday.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield.
And Fuel Up was awesome.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.